Hi, everybody. This is David Nevins, and welcome to Citybiz List, another of our programs. And our guest today is Dr. Bob Willenbrink, and he is the Executive Director of the Maryland Center for the Arts. Bob, welcome to our program today.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here. It's an honor.
It's our pleasure. We're the ones honored. Bob, Maryland Center for the Arts, great name, statewide organization, but I'm going to guess still a lot of Marylanders who are seeing this interview are not quite familiar with the Maryland Center for the Arts. And you're the executive director. I know you guys are incredibly active. Talk to us a little bit about the center and some of your upcoming programs.
Well, the center is just in the last couple of years has really gone to programming and trying to engage citizens of all ages. We have a very extensive program. We just finished with our plein air painting festival, which included artists from all over the country, 30 artists, and we had an exhibit. It was wonderfully received. We started the week, it was Arts Week in Harford County, and we started the week with a youth concert that was both a vocal concert and a strings concert. So we had a busy week. Our big event so far this year has been the Bluegrass Festival, which was held at a local Hopkins brewery, and we had major names and a wonderful, wonderful crowd that was quite hot because it was those 100-degree days. Upcoming, we have a program called Let's Dance, which is anyone who wants to learn or young people how to swing dance. We're going to have a little swing dance instruction. And then to kick off the holiday season, we have a group of singers from all of Hartford County called Rejoice. This concert's called Rejoice. In the spring, we're looking forward again to having the Paloma Dance Company, the Irish dance group, come to town. And then later in the spring, we'll have our gala and a bluegrass festival. And also we have an educational adventure, we call it, for young people. Last year it was Bugs, Birds, and Beauty. And this year it's going to be based on STEAM. And we haven't come up with a clever name yet, but we're going to talk about how the arts fit in with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I firmly believe they do. And I think that those are the events that are really, really exciting and upcoming.
Well, I know that sounds terrific, Bob. And I know I've interviewed a number of people who have previously referred to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. But now most of them are referring to STEAM. So the arts has kind of snuck its way right into quite literally the middle.
Right.
The middle. Bob, I know at one point in time, I know not at one point in time, there's still the objective to make the Maryland Center for the Arts ultimately a physical space in Hartford County.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about that, but also until that day comes, it seems like you have become all things art in Hartford County and Northern Maryland and beyond.
Well, we actually are pretty excited. We've begun the process of clearing the land that was given to us by Emily Bayless Graham. And we have cleared the trees, 5 acres, 5 of the 40 acres of trees. And we're waiting on a zoning permit to clear up the stumps and the treetops that were left behind. And we hope that by this time next year, if not earlier, that we have a nice grassy area where we can do outdoor concerts, various sundry other outdoor adventures, and have a nice summer place for people to be entertained. We really are excited about the process, and hopefully we'll get started soon on it.
Yeah, I hope so. I know a lot of people have been waiting and are really looking forward
Right.
to that day. But in the meantime, as I said, Harford County has been really developing into quite an arts hub for Maryland.
Right.
And it does seem to me that the center is really playing a major role in kickstarting that.
Well,
Talk a little bit about a little more about the arts in Harford County and your role in it and the center's role in its growth.
we really, really have a lot of talented artists of all walks: dance, music, theater, visual art. And we are trying to cooperate with other arts groups, like the Harford Arts Association. Um, Last week, we just concluded the first annual Arts Week of Harford County, which featured performances by various groups, and it was done in cooperation with the with the Havre de Grace Arts Collective, also with the Bel Air Arts and Entertainment District, and with the Center for the Arts. And it was kind of us that organized it and put it together. And there were numerous groups that participated, various concerts across the county. And we hope to do it again next year and make a little more noise with it and make sure that people really enjoy the week and the various arts that take place. So we try to develop partnerships. I think partnerships are essential. We've developed a partnership with the basket makers. If you've ever seen a basket maker, the art is terrific. I'm working with a group called Echo Recovery, which is how the arts impact recovering people that are recovering from addiction. And I'm also working with a young woman who is developed a script called Addiction, about all the problems that result from addiction. And we hope to be able to do this mixed media production in late spring, early summer, and take it to junior highs and high schools to educate them about what the possibilities are and what the consequences are. So we stay active. We try to prevent and try to get new programming as much as possible to bring different ideas and concepts to Harford County.
Yeah, it does seem to me, Bob, you've really hit the nail on the head there in terms of partnerships seem to be what's going to make the arts flourish. It might be a nice thing for, to assume that people are going to go to museums on the weekend and musical performances, and certainly quite obviously that does take place. But to the extent that an organization such as yours can combine activities, even you mentioned, I think a few moments ago, an event with the brewery, those are the things that people are looking for today, to turn an afternoon of arts also into an afternoon of, let's just say, general entertainment and often casual dining. And it seems like you and your colleagues at the Maryland Center for the Arts have bought into that and are leading the way.
Well, thank you. I think that we are. And one of the concerns that I have is that after COVID, the community needs to be re-engaged, and the arts are a way to do that. And the programming that we're trying to do is to re-engage them, kind of kickstart the economy again in some ways, because if people come to a concert in the evening, a lot of times they'll go out to eat before, or you do something in the afternoon, they'll do lunch, or they'll do something afterwards. So there's a lot of opportunities in that regard. And I think that the arts are trying to engage the community at all levels and improve generally life in Harford County. I know that people don't want to move someplace where there are no arts activities. They want that. They want the quality of life, and the arts certainly contribute to the quality of life.
Yeah, I think again, Bob, right on. I know that places like Harford County have over the years been, referred to as, bedroom communities and what have you. But the fact of the matter is that when people move out to Harford County or Cecil County as well, not only are they, looking for a more perhaps, quiet rural environment, but they also want to be able to eat out there, to dine out there, to go places with their friends, and to take in the arts, whether that be music or painting or dance, as you noted as well.
Right. And there are many places, restaurants and those kind of places that offer wonderful programs of music. And they're not always big things. One of the things that I didn't mention earlier that we're going to do is what I'm calling Sing Out Saturday. And we're going to go to various locations, restaurants primarily, on Saturdays, and just have different groups and different musicians sing and to entertain the people so they can have a little dinner and have music to go along with it. And so Sing Out Saturday is going to be a big thing for us. And I think the first one's probably coming up in October, and we'll keep people posted about where it's going to be and who's going to be there. So it's part of what we do. The other thing that the arts have done, and one of the things that I'm very pleased with, is tourism has improved. We had people from as far away as Maine for our Bluegrass Festival. We've had artists from New Jersey, and even had an artist from the West Coast participate in plein air. And so all the arts bring people to Harford County to see what is available and all the wonderful things that occur.
And Bob, I couldn't agree more. But before I let you go, people can tell that you're an enthusiastic and articulate advocate for the arts, arts anywhere, and particularly in the position you hold as the executive director of the Maryland Center for the Arts, located in Harford County. And I assume part of this comes from the fact that you yourself are an artist and a performer. That's your background. Share with our audience a little bit about who you are and your own personal interest in the arts.
Well, I've been in theater since I was 16 years old, and I had my first role, and I fell in love with it. I have undergraduate degrees and a PhD in theater. I've been a performer. I've performed in plays of all types. Professionally, I've been a professional director, directing equity companies. I'm also a musician, and play a little guitar and sing a little bit. So I have just always been interested and focused on the arts and all they can contribute. And it's very exciting for me to see my former students, particularly when not taught in higher education, when they succeed. And you turn on television and you see one of your students in a HBO movie or a Showtime movie. There's no greater feeling than that. And I tell people that the arts are not always going to turn out artists, but it teaches people ways to think creatively and to approach problems in different fashions. And I really, really believe that arts education is vital to all of us. And appreciation of the arts really goes that way. And so that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Bob, anyone in particular you wanna brag about, former students, or at least share with us your first performance on stage? What show was that in?
That was a show called Mrs. McThing, and I played a gangster.
I can't say I'm familiar with that particular show.
Well, it was with Louisville Children's Theater. The other role that I had the most fun with is Arkansas. When I lived in Arkansas, we had a historical dance series, and I was cast as the old, grubby backwoods person who didn't know how to dance, so they were trying to teach him social dance. And it was a really, really fun time, and I really, really enjoyed my time doing that.
Well, Bob, it sounds like you've had a fascinating life in the arts, and we're so glad now that you're here in Maryland, advancing the cause of the Maryland Center for the Arts. Tell our audience how they can reach you and how they can learn more about the Maryland Center for the Arts.
Well, they can reach me via the webpage, which is mdcfa.org. I'm there listed under staff, and it has my phone number. That's the best way to reach me. If they see me on the street, they could stop me on the street. I'll talk to anybody anytime. But the best way to reach us is through the webpage. And if they go to the webpage, they can see all of our upcoming events. And that's really, really important to follow along. And that's the best way to reach us.
Bob, thank you so much for your time and for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a real pleasure.
The pleasure's been ours once again. Our guest today has been Dr. Bob Willenbrink. He is the executive director of the Maryland Center for the Arts. Check them out. I think you'll enjoy their programming. This has been David Nevins for Citybiz List. Thank you so much for joining us today.